So for today, what you'll need is a blanket or a pillow from your couch. You could use a blanket that's folded up nicely, or even a bolster. So you will need something that's going to go underneath your belly in prone position. And we'll do that later. So you can just have it off to the side. All right, come to your chair, have a seat, and we will sit together. We will sit and take in this moment. So root into your feet, root into your sitting bones, lift up through your heart. And become aware of your breath. So much of life is about what is called the 3 A's. And often I'll quiz everyone and be like, what are the 3 A's? And I know some of you are already answering what they are. For those of you that are like, shoot, I can't remember one of them. It's like the 7 dwarfs. And for others who the 3 A's are a brand new concept, like what? The 3 A's are attitude, alignment, and action. And they're the 3 A's of the system of yoga that I teach in Anusara. I teach you those 3 A's physically in the practice. My goal is to also teach you those 3 A's philosophically so that you apply them to life. And that's our practice. That's my practice every day. Bring your hands to your heart. Take your thumbs, press them up against your breastbone. And as you root into your sitting bones and into your feet, move your brain, right? This thinking organism, taking in information, processing it, deducing. Take your brain and move it back in your head and up so that your head starts to sit on top of your heart. Take the gaze of your eyes into your heart and just check in with your attitude this morning. Whatever it is, it's okay, right? It's the acceptance of this is where we begin, and you have to know where you're at to begin there. So there's not judgment in the recognition. There's just the recognition of this is where we begin. With tremendous gratitude for our ability to be aware. Give thanks. And then release your hands and open your eyes. Take a big breath up, forward reach. Exhale your arms out into the side plane. So reaching forward, reach big. And out. It feels good to stretch. Reach forward and out. One more time, reach up. Let's stay up with the arms. Grab onto your left wrist with your right hand. I am teaching right left. I am practicing right left. So I may look opposite of you on your screen depending on how you have it set up. Tip to the right. Breathe. Push with your feet, inhale and come up, exhale and release your arms. Arms forward, up, stay up, grab onto your right wrist, lengthen as you root into your feet and sitting bones, tip to the left, breathe. I know if I move, my attitude shifts. Push with your feet, inhale and come up, exhale and release your arms. In breath, reach your arms up, open them out to a T, bring your right arm into the midline, your left arm underneath. Lift your elbows to the height of your shoulders. And now draw little circles with the tips of your elbows and reverse the direction. If I really think hard, I can't think of a time when I've moved and my attitude has gotten negative. All right, release, open your arms out wide, exhale. Maybe one will come to me. Reach your arms up, open out to a T. Oh, I can think of one. All right, so bring your left arm into the midline, your right arm underneath. So you're in Garandasana, eagle arms. From the back of your heart to your elbows, reach and make little circles. So we called it the death march. We were hiking out west, and my kids were little. And the first the first hike of the day, my husband chose a rocky slope in full sun. In breath, open your arms. Exhale. And we were at altitude for the first day. So that was when movement did not feel good. Reach your arms up, slide your fingers together, turn your palms open, and rest your hand on top of your head. So we still tease him to this day of, that first choice that, didn't really set the tone for the trip. Like, if they're all going to be like this, we're not doing them. Keep trying to slide your fingers apart. I'm sure you've had moments like that in your life too. And then it only got better from there. Reach your arms up, exhale your arms down. Take your arms out into the side plane, reach up, take them into the side plane and lower them. And now take your hands behind your back and hold onto your chair. Push your chair down, lift up through your heart. So we're opening the breathing spaces, the shoulder girdle, the upper thoracic a little bit. Yeah. All right, release your arms. Take your feet out nice and wide. Bring your hands onto your thigh bones. Move your heart forward and tip. Push with your feet, inhale and come up. And we'll do that 4 more times. So heart moves forward, hinging from the hip crease. Push down with your feet by using your hands to help weight your feet. You have 2 more. So you're rocking in and out of a forward bend. Hopefully what you're rocking on is your sitting bones. So you're feeling your pelvis rock at the base of you, not tipping from your lumbars, flexing and extending. So we want to move from the pelvis. All right, walk your feet in. Keep your left foot on the ground, cross your right leg over, reach up big. And as you exhale, forward fold. You can put your hands on your legs, you can touch the ground. But as you press down with your left foot on the ground, spread your toes on both feet and broaden through both sitting bones. Push down into the earth, inhale and come up. Uncross, second side, left leg over right. Spread your toes as you in-breath and reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Put your hands on your legs, or if you're able, go for the ground. But do ground your hands to protect your back. It's not really protecting it because, man, you want a strong back so you can weather all of life, all of the things coming at you, the good stuff and the interesting stuff and the stuff you just have to endure. Push with your foot that's on the ground, in-breath and come up. Step your feet out wide 1 more time. Use your hands on your thighs. Push with your hands down, move your heart forward, forward fold, and let's stay here and breathe for a couple breath cycles. Spine is long as best you can. You want to see if you can reach back through your tail, forward through your heart, and out through the top back of your head. So we ground our hearts through the actions of our feet and our pelvis. We allow the heart to lift and the head, our mind, to be in relationship with our heart. All right, push down with your feet, rise up. Work your feet together, find a comfortable distance of your feet that you feel like you have a good base, because you're going to come to standing and repeat that several times. Tip forward, make sure you're on the edge of your chair. Now without your arms lifting up, let's keep the arms down. Push with your feet, rise. That's harder, isn't it? Yeah. Keep your arms down, push with your feet, reach really far back. If you think you're going to miss the chair, definitely reach back with the hands to grab it. 1 more time without arms, push with your feet, rise. Double check as you go down and up that the center of the knee, center of the ankle, second toe are tracking. That's something we're all aware of, but we want to keep it. All right, so now let's add the arms. Let's swoop them up, keep reaching up through the fingertips, push with your feet, rise. Good, keep the arms up, have a seat. And then just noticing, like, yeah, we'll do that 1 more time. Which do you like better, arms down, arms up? We all have a choice, right? We're all like, I like this one. Okay, and then arms down. All right, third variation is you get to swoop the arms while you come up. Ready? Arms swoop, and you come up. Arms swoop, and you go down. Yeah. Which do you like? This momentum one? Everybody will have a different opinion. Let's stay up on the next one. Up we go, stay up. Take your chair to the top of your mat. and turn the chair back to face you. Top of the mat, chair back to face you. Take a wide stance, step back for L pose. Breathe, bend your knees. If you've had any sort of discomfort, if you've been working puzzles late into the night, if you've been reading, if you've been doing cross stitch or knitting, tool work, if you've been working on the computer, this shape is good for us. So bend your knees, spread your toes. Press your shins towards one another while you move your inner thighs apart. Keep lifting your sitting bones up as you draw your tail down. Continue to lift your belly, your ribs, and your armpits up so they don't get to droop down. You've got to sustain their lift. But meanwhile, press down with your hands as you reach from your pelvis to your fingertips. So your pelvis is moving back behind you, but from your pelvis to your armpits to your fingertips is trying to move forward. And that's what gives you this extension, like a, I'll just say it, a stretch sensation, right? Through the trunk. Breathe. And how you augment all of that is you just keep breathing, right? Whatever you got, it's ever going on, you just keep breathing. All right, walk into your chair to come out. Let's turn the chair seat around. So now the seat faces you. I have the chair to the right side of me. My right foot is the foot closest to the chair. Turn your back foot, which is your left foot, in. Turn your right foot open. Reach your arms up to the sky. Take a big reach and out to a T and come into a knee bend. And now here in the initial shape of warrior two, check in with your attitude again. Like, where is it? Yeah. Turn your gaze and look over your front hand. So once we've kind of been like, all right, where's my attitude? How are things going in that department? The next thing is alignment. And in the physical body in this class, I give a lot of alignment cues. So your front heel lines up with the center of the back foot, somewhere around the middle of the arch of the back foot. All your toes spread out on both feet. And the head of your right shin bone, your front leg, to the best of your ability, stacks over the ankle, maybe even over a little bit the arch of the right foot. Push down with both feet, lengthen your legs, release your arms, turn your feet parallel. Since we're not going to the chair, you can just stay here, but if you think you need the chair for balance, you can certainly turn around. But we're just going into warrior two. So right foot turning in, left foot turning open. Pull your feet towards one another. So this is where you hug in to the alignment, to the structure of you as you pull your feet in. Reach your arms up, reach them out to a T, release your front hip, come into your knee bend. Yeah, so in the general form of the pose, right, the legs, one is bent, one is extended. The extended leg has a slight inward rotation, right? And it'll feel like you're screwing your back leg into the socket. So without turning your right foot in anymore, don't actually turn your right foot. Turn your right inner thigh, your back inner thigh, a little bit to the wall behind you. And it'll feel like you're tightening the leg into the socket. Keep that, and now step down into your front heel. Let the head of the front shin bone stack over the ankle. Keep that. And then scoop your left buttock, that's your front leg butt, underneath you a little bit more, and broaden your left inner knee a little bit behind you. Keep that. Breathe. And now from your heart to your fingertips, reach out a little bit more as you turn your gaze to look over your left hand. Take another breath. Push with your feet, lengthen your legs, release your arms down. Turn your feet parallel. Turn your left foot slightly in. Turn your right foot all the way open. Pull your feet towards one another as you reach your arms up to the sky and out to a T. With your back leg, instead of turning the left foot more, turn from the left inner thigh. So the left inner thigh moves back and apart, and it'll rotate your pelvis oh so slightly, kind of in the direction towards the chair, but more in an angle. Keep that. Release your front hip, come into your knee bend, scoop your right buttock underneath you, broaden through the right inner knee. So it's like the right butt is coming forward while the inner knee is moving back, right? And that'll really lock the right leg in. Next breath, right hand to chair seat, top hand to the sky. So now we're in a shape of extended side angle. Breathe. With awesome alignment. So you're already on to your second A, your attitude and your alignment. The third A is action. Oh, we got so many actions in here, right? From the arches of your feet up to your pelvis, pull up. That's an action. That is not a movement, right? You didn't move, didn't step forward, didn't step back. You pull up towards your pelvis. Now from your pelvis to your heart, reach out. Here's a movement. Top arm reaches forward and then over your head. That's a movement, which is different from an action. Breathe. Push with both feet, another movement. Bottom arm reaches out. Keep the actions of your legs. What's that back leg doing? Inner thigh, back and apart. What's the front leg doing? Right buttock under, right inner knee broadens. Breathe. From pelvis to feet, push down. In breath and come up. Exhale and release. Lengthen your legs. Turn your feet parallel, heel toe, heel toe. Come in, move your chair to the other side or turn around. So, yeah, sustaining something that's hard, right? So you held that pose for a little while and you sustained. With a nice wide stance, turn your right foot in, your left foot all the way open. Reach your arms up to the sky and out to a T. Check in with your attitude. You already know you got to sustain somewhere. You got it. It's not like walking across hot rocks in full sun at altitude. Pull your feet towards one another. Keep broadening your right inner thigh, your back leg inner thigh to the right and behind you. Release your front hip, come into your knee bend. Scoop your left buttock underneath you, broaden your left inner knee behind you. Woohoo, can you do all that? That is a lot of alignment cues. Breathe, next breath, hand to the chair seat, top hand to the sky. So first shape of side angle. Stay with your breath. Lots of alignment cues, lots of action cues. Here's a movement cue. Top arm reaches forward, and then over your head. Breathe. So if we keep cycling through the attitude, what's our attitude of this moment, right? How are we aligning? And you move back through the alignment cues. Cycling back through the action cues. It helps us endure whatever it is we have to endure. And right now what we're going to endure is some massive strength as we take our bottom arm off. All right, breathe, back through the cues, pull both feet towards one another, broaden your back inner thigh, back and apart, scoop your left buttock under, broaden your left inner knee. Breathe, reach from your pelvis to your fingertips. Now push down from your pelvis to your feet, inhale and come up. Exhale and release your arms. How'd you do? Did you endure that difficult shape and get through all those cues of alignment and action? Back to the first side. And if you didn't, it's okay, right? You just say, well, that's where I'm at, right? So what's your attitude on that? If you're like, that was hard and I needed to come out sooner. I was on the rocky slope with full sun beating on me too long. I wanted to get down. And that's good. That's a good choice, always. To do what's right for you in the moment. Breathe. That's always the best choice. Keep breathing. All right, walk into your chair again. Let's turn the chair seat around. We're getting really good at turning chairs in our practice together. What skill did you learn from yoga? How to pick up a chair and rotate it. All right, take a wide stance. Back foot is your left foot. The foot closest to the chair is my right foot. Their chair is on the right side of me. Left foot turns in, right foot turns open. Back through those cues. Pull your feet towards one another. Breathe. Yeah. Lift up through your heart. Bring your brain on top of your heart by moving your brain back and up. That's a weird cue, isn't it? Like, what would it mean to move your brain back and up so it balances on your heart? Reach your arms up to the sky and out to a T. Hold here. You're in a nice star shape. Breathe. Back leg, inner thigh. What does it do? Moves back and apart. Front inner thigh, what does it do? Right buttock scoops under, right inner knee has a slight rotation to it. So the center of your right knee, here's a big alignment cue. The center of your right knee tracks through the center of your right ankle, through the center of your foot, which is somewhere between like the second, third, and fourth toe. Now push down from your pelvis to your feet to hinge from your hip crease. Bring your hand to the chair seat. Breathe. So you're in triangle pose, Trikonasana. Very fundamental shape, powerful shape. Energetically opening in all directions, through all lines of the body. So from pelvis to feet, reach. From tail to head, extend. From heart to each fingertip, reach. Now push with your back foot, inhale and come up. Exhale and release your arms. Turn your feet parallel, heel toe, your feet together. Pick up your chair. Move it to the other side. So we would probably be the A team for like rearranging a meeting room, right? Like we could move chairs together as a group pretty quickly. Nice wide stance. And we do it with a great attitude too. So let's take our back foot, which is our right foot, turn it slightly in. And you know, it's not just the foot now, right? When I say right foot turning slightly in, you're going right inner thigh, back and apart. Turn your left foot all the way open. And as you turn your left foot all the way open, you're no longer thinking just turn the left foot open. You're thinking left buttock under, left inner knee has a turn to it. So center of the knee tracks with center of the ankle. And you can even look down at your foot and be like, yeah, center of my knee is lining up somewhere between my second toe and my fourth toe. All right, pull the feet in strongly as you reach your arms up and out to a T. Keeping the alignment, keeping the actions of your legs. Lift up through your heart, move your brain, where? Move your brain, what's today's cues? Back and up. So it resides on top of, it's like a puzzle. Finish the word, your heart. Tip over, Trikonasana. I hope you were hollering all that. Breathe. Keep pulling your feet towards one another. Push down from your pelvis to your feet. Inhale and come up. Exhale and release your arms. Turn your feet parallel, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. All right, chair over to the right side again, or turn around. So the chair is back on my right side. Oh gosh, I have big feet. I have size 11 feet, which are very big feet for a woman. That's about 2 foot lengths of me. So it's 2 feet away from the chair, about. Maybe yours needs to be closer depending on your stature. Stand on your left foot, externally rotate your right leg and put it on the chair. So this is just like the poses you were in, right? So it's a warrior 2 shape. Yeah, so left foot can turn slightly in or be parallel. I'm keeping mine parallel. And then on the right leg, what was the cue for the front leg? What do you remember about the alignment cues of the front leg and the actions? What happens to the right buttock? What do you do with the right inner knee? What does the center of the knee line up with? Reach your arms up to the sky, open them out to a T. So you're remembering the alignment and the actions on your own, right? And you're bringing them into the practice, which is your mastery of the practice. You no longer need me, which is my whole goal, is to work myself out of a job. Bring your right arm to your right quad, top arm up to the sky. And isn't that what they say about all good bosses, all good teachers, right? Anybody you've ever worked for? Anybody who's ever taught you, right? You eventually grew beyond them. Push with your foot that's on the ground, push with your foot that's on the chair. Inhale and come up, take your arms out to a T. And then from the head of your front arm bone, rotate your palm to the sky. Breathe. So you're going to reverse this warrior. Lift up through your heart and then just tip back. Lift up through your heart and tip back. Yeah, little tip back. And it's not so much of a tip back as it is a lift up. So if you think of like, could you extend from your pelvis to your heart a little bit more? Of course you can. Breathe. And then keep that reach from pelvis to heart and take it up, up through the top back of your head, up, up through your top fingertips. And as you exhale, arms down. Stand on your left foot, right foot off the chair. Move the chair to your other side or turn around. Before you take your second side, just stand for a second and feel. Feel the inner groins. Feel the breathing space, right? So in the rib cage area. And just notice the difference just from that shape. There's a possibility of more opening. All right, let's get that on the other side. So about 2 feet from the chair, back foot on the ground, right foot could be parallel or slightly turning in. I'm keeping mine parallel today. As soon as you step onto the chair, left heel on the chair, whole heel on the chair. So none of it hanging off or kind of sort of on there. Whole foot, fully supported, especially the back of the heel. All right, reach down from your pelvis to your feet as you pull your feet towards one another, and then go back through those alignment cues without me having to give them to you. What's your standing leg on the ground, your right leg doing? What's the inner thigh doing? What's the left buttock? That's the bent knee leg. What's it doing? Left inner knee. What does the knee line up with? Spread your toes, pull your feet towards one another. And more importantly, don't just answer the questions, right? It's like do the action, actually make it happen. So when we align, we actually have to take an action to that alignment. Next breath, left arm to quad, top arm to the sky, breathe. We're just going to reverse this in a second. Both arms out to a T. And take the head of your front arm bone and rotate it so your left palm goes to the sky. Keep reaching from your heart to your fingertips as you push down with your feet, both of them, and lift up through your heart. Your head's just moving in relationship to your heart. Breathe. All right, here in this reverse warrior, go back into the actions of your legs. Because movement. From your heart more. Extend from your pelvis through your head more. Through your heart to your fingers. Push with your feet. Inhale and come up. Exhale, release your arms. Leg on the ground, continues to stand. Step off the chair with your other leg. All right. Reach your arms up to the sky in the middle of your mat. Open them out to a T, and then clasp your hands in the back plane. So just take them behind you. I just turned around to show you. Clasp them. Bend your elbows. Bend your knees. All right, as you bend your knees, just check back in with your alignment. Are you standing a comfortable width? All right, and comfortable width is different for all of us. Comfortable width underneath your pelvis. In that stance, check out, are your knees tracking, right, with the center of your ankle? Now, keep that, but add in the action. So move both inner thighs back. That's a weird one. It'll make it feel like you're sticking your butt out. Inner thighs back, and now inner thighs apart. Draw down through your tail, lift up through your heart. Breathe. So you're in a little bit standing back bend. Good. And then release your arms, push with your feet and stand. All right, chair back to the first side. This time, chair seat faces away from you. Chair seat faces away. Left foot forward, right leg back, high lunge position. Back foot articulating, so it means you're pushing into your right big toe ball joint, baby toe ball joint, and the right heel is lifting up. So this is you in a big stride, right? Stepping over something, about to weight shift into your front foot to pick up your back leg. Push down with your feet and pull both feet towards one another. Move your right inner thigh back and apart as you scoop your left buttock under and broaden your left inner knee so that the center of your knee lines up with second, third, and fourth toe. In breath, raise one or both arms up. Open your arms out to a T. Keep pulling your feet towards one another so that you hug on to what you align with. Clasp your hands behind your back. Draw your tail down, lift up through your heart. Breathe. Keep pulling up from pelvis to heart. Allow your head to just follow your heart in the natural curve of the back bend. Breathe. Keep pulling your feet in towards one another. In breath and come up. Exhale and release your hands to the chair. Push with your left foot. Big swing of the right foot forward. Stand. Stand for a second. That's a big shape. All right, second side. Right foot forward. Left leg back. Just come into your high lunge. Set that up. Check in with your attitude. Now begin your alignment cues. As your feet pull towards one another, left leg, back leg, inner thigh back and apart. And it's a weird cue. And what it does is orient the pelvis. As your left inner thigh moves back and apart, it'll start turning your pelvis so that your left frontal hip bone starts to turn and face the chair more. And as you draw the right side of your pelvis back, scoop your right buttock under, broaden through your right inner knee, just enough that your knee, the center of it, the center of your kneecap, tracks with your second, third, and fourth toe. There'll come to a point where you don't even have to look to check your alignment. You can feel it. Let your arms release to the earth. As you pull your feet towards one another, reach your arms up to the sky. Reach big from pelvis to fingertips. Open your arms out to a T, clasp your hands behind your back. Lift through your heart as you draw down through your tail. Return to hugging on to the alignment by pulling your feet towards one another. As you lift your heart up and just let your head follow the trajectory of your heart. Breathe. Next, in breath, balance your head on top of your pelvis, hands back to the chair. Push strongly down with your right heel so you feel your right butt fire more. Then swing your left leg forward, stand. Take L pose. Are you guys sweating yet? I've got a little sweat going on. Breathe. Yeah, when we align and we incorporate really detailed actions that refine the alignment even more, it's work. Breathe. Okay, walk into your chair to come out. Turn your chair seat around. Just want to open up the hamstrings before we work on back bending. All right, don't be intimidated by the word back bending. All right, stand in your left foot. Put your hands on your pelvis. Put your right foot up on the chair. And so pelvis, knees, shoulders, everything's oriented facing the chair. Slide your right leg out to extend it. Now, to keep a balance, stay balanced here, you've got to push down with your right heel on the chair. You've got to push down with your left foot. The other thing to help keep you balanced so you don't tip over is to pull both feet towards one another. So your back leg is pushing down and pulling forward. Your front heel is pushing down and pulling back. And that's a scissoring of the legs. In breath, raise your arms up. To tip over, you got to stick your butt out. So lift your sitting bones up, broaden them apart. That's a weird cue. But think about your sitting bones lifting up and broadening apart. That's what gets you to tip over. Hands can touch the chair, can touch your leg, just not on your knee. Push with your standing foot, inhale and come up. Stand on your left foot, bend your right knee, step your right foot off. It's a big one. It's a big one to balance and then get the stretch. All right, right foot's our standing foot. Left foot up onto the chair. Breathe. Pull your feet towards one another as you stretch your left leg out. Move your right inner thigh, the one that's on the ground, the standing leg on the ground. Move it back and apart. Draw your left buttock underneath you. In breath, raise your arms up. Push down with your right heel, pull it forward. Push down with your left heel, pull it back. Keep that. Move your heart forward, and to move your heart forward, you have to think of your sitting bones widening and lifting. Sitting bones widening and lifting. Hands can touch anything. They can touch the chair. They could touch your leg. They could stay in the air. Breathe. Push with both feet, in breath, and come up. Hold your left leg, step off the chair. All right, let's do an easier version of a hamstring stretch. That one required balance, which makes it a little bit harder, right? So while you're working balance and a stretch sensation, you know, you're like in a dance between the two, picking like, which way do I want to go? Sitting in the chair, there's no choice, right? Your balance is already here because you're pretty safe. You're on four legs of the chair, 2 of your own legs. So you got 6 places of support. In breath, raise your arms up. So you heard in the last cue about tipping over what it requires the sitting bones to do. And now you can feel your sitting bones. You're sitting on them on the chair, the 2 bony protuberances at the base of your pelvis. So as you tip forward, those 2 bony protuberances broaden, they get wider, they separate, they get wider apart, and they lift to the sky. And you can feel that as you tip over. Take your right hand to your right foot. Maybe your right hand goes to the ground. Maybe your right hand is somewhere resting along your right leg, just not pushing on your knee joint. Left hand is on left thigh or the ground. Let your head release now. Drop your head in. Allow your spine to flex. Keep squeezing your legs towards one another without actually moving them, right? So it's an action, not a movement. What is moving is the breath. The breath is the ultimate mover. Press down with your feet. Inhale and come up. Slide your right foot in. Stretch your left leg out. Inhale, big breath up. Press into your feet. Pull your feet towards one another. Remember what's going to tip you over for today. We're saying sitting bones go wider and they tip to the sky. And that's what allows you to tip forward into this hamstring and back stretch. So opening the back line of the body from the left leg up through the trunk. Left hand can touch the floor, the left leg. Right hand is being grounded as well. Where you're grounding your right hand is up to you. Could be on your right leg, could touch the floor. And the movement, got those 3 A's going. So the movement now is breath. Press with your feet, heart moves forward. Inhale and come up. Slide your feet together. Push with your feet. Let's swing the arms to stand up. In breath and come up. Exhale and release your arms. Okay, so you're going to gather some props. We'll put the chair at the top of our mat, the back facing us. And then you have a choice of your props. Remember at the beginning we talked about you could have a folded blanket, a pillow from your couch, or a bolster. I'm going to go with the pillow from the couch for my demonstration, but you could have any of those objects. I'm going to go with this one because I think it might be closer to what most of you have at home. So we'll set the pillow from the couch off to the side, right near the chair, because we're going to need it. Stand facing your chair. Bring your left foot forward, your right leg back, lunge, right knee down. Push with your right foot, push with your left foot, step forward. Right foot forward, left leg back, high lunge. Knee to the ground or hovering, right? We know we're working on that still. Good, step together. And one more time each side. Step back, knee hovers. This is a huge hamstring strengthener. It's a huge front of the pelvis opener, quad, hip flexor in the back leg. Yeah, and step together. All right, now pick which leg's going back. You get to pick. Easy one, hard one. Yep, and then knee down. Both knees down to the mat. Move your chair off to the side. All right, so we're going to start laying on our side. We will begin laying on our side. So lay down on your right side. Lay down on your right side. You could certainly use your pillow for your head, laying on your side. It's not going to stay there, but you could use it. All right, and then tuck your knees up towards your chest. So you're laying on your side, knees to chest, a little bit, tuck like halfway into chest. Bring your left hand, which is your top hand, to your left shin bone. So bring your left knee to your chest and bring your left hand to hold your left shin right beneath your knee. Slide your left hand down to your left ankle and then bring your left knee underneath you. So you're moving into a quadricep stretch. Bend your left elbow. Breathe. Spread your toes. Now, keeping your left knee underneath your pelvis, begin to push your left foot away, but resist with your hand. All right, release. Bring your knee back to your chest, stack your legs. Let's flip over to the other side. So you can just flip over, or you could turn around. You got a couple choices how to get there. So now we're laying on our left side, knees tucked up, legs stacked. You could use the pillow or the blanket or the bolster under your head to align your head. On an exhale, draw your right knee to your chest. Use your right hand, which is your top hand, to hold on to your right shin bone just beneath your knee. Slide your right hand down your right shin bone till it meets your ankle, and then guide your right knee underneath your pelvis. No further, so we're not taking the right knee back behind us into additional lumbar extension or hyperextension. We're just bringing the knee beneath us. Bend your right elbow, move the head of your right arm bone back behind you as you spread your toes, and push your right foot away without moving your right knee. So that's definitely an action, not a movement, right? The right foot pushes and the hand resists. The hand doesn't let that foot actually go anywhere. All right, on your next breath, bring your right knee forward, stack your legs, and push to sit up. All right, bring the pillow or the bolster or the blanket to about the middle of the mat. You're going to nestle it into your belly area and lay down on your belly. All right, so nestling the pillow into your belly area. And when I say your belly, I mean like the pelvic bowl. So if you figure out where the bones of your pelvis are beneath your rib cage, there's all that soft tissue area. That's where you're going. All right, so nestle it all in there. Rest your hands down on the mat and place your forehead on your hands. Breathe. So for some of us, just having a pillow or something nestled into our belly area is enough. If it causes any discomfort, you can certainly remove it. All right, let's get busy now. So check in with your attitude. How do you like laying on your belly? Breathe. Aligning your legs so that your legs are dropping directly beneath your pelvis. Squeeze your legs towards one another. Reach back from your pelvis to your feet and press the tops of your feet down. Keep breathing. You have this awesome opportunity with the prop nestled in the soft belly area in the pelvic bowl. You have this awesome opportunity to open through breath a little bit more the back side of you in the pelvis lumbar region. And how you get it open is you just keep breathing. Sometimes that area gets a little tight and stuck, depending on how we've been holding ourselves and using our bodies. All right. So keeping your legs steady and strong and squeezing them together, slide your left elbow underneath your left shoulder. So if I was to say, let's do a forearm plank, that's the position of the left arm. So left elbow to left fingers are down on the mat. Left elbow is beneath left shoulders. Yep. So keeping the left arm parallel So it's not like turning out or turning in. So it's not turning out or turning in. It's parallel, right? Push with your right hand, bend your right knee. Breathe. Keep drawing your tail down to the mat. Reach back with your right hand and see if you can get your right foot. If you're like, there's no way you touch any part of you, you can touch. So if you got pants and you can grab your pants, great. If you're like, there's nothing I can touch other than my own bottom, touch that. Or keep your right hand on the floor, like in a push-up position. So left hand would be down in forearm plank, right hand would be in a push-up position. And right there, that's perfect. Right? So you have a lot of choices here. You could be holding your right leg, right foot. You could be holding the clothing of your right leg, any part of the clothing you can get. If you've got shorts on, you can grab the shorts at the hamstrings. More importantly, push with your left forearm, draw your tail down, turn your right belly to the left and move your heart forward. Now, if you happen to have hold of your foot or your clothing on the right leg with your right hand, push your right foot away and resist with your hand. Next breath, lower down, rest. So for many of us, that will increase respiration, right? We might find ourselves in a new breathing pattern after that. Yeah, because there might have been a heart rate change. All right, let's do the second side. Right elbow underneath the shoulder. So the right arm is in a forearm plank, and it's not just laying there, it's pushing. It's bringing structure and integrity to your torso. So push with your right forearm from elbow to wrist. Push the wristwatch area of your forearm down. Push your whole hand down and claw with each finger pad. And feel how that takes strength in your arm, and also how it tones not only your arm, but it begins to tone into your right side waist. Reach back from your pelvis to your legs. You can bring your left hand into a push-up position, or you could reach back with your left hand as you bend your left knee to grab onto anything. Maybe you've grabbed your shorts at the hamstring area. Maybe you've grabbed the pant leg cuff area, somewhere along the calf. If you can get the ankle and the foot, go for it. Whatever you've got is perfect. Use your right forearm more. If you've kept your left hand down in push-up position, push with it. Whatever the arms are doing, they're going to push and they're going to pull. Turn your belly to the right, belly and ribs towards the right forearm. Breathe. Keep pushing the left foot away, but resisting with the left hand. And if you don't have a hand touching the left leg, just push back, but imagine a hand is stopping it and working against it. Good, and then release. Rest down. Bend both knees. Windshield wiper your legs, so legs are just going from side to side to side. All right, stretch your legs out long. If you don't like the pillow underneath your belly, you can certainly take it out. Just maybe 5 breath cycles here in prone. So in addition to breathing, let's go through the 3 A's, right? So the attitude, how do you feel about laying on your belly? And if you need to change, right? If you're like, it's not good, change. And now squeeze your legs towards one another as you confirm that your heels are lining up with your sitting bones. So that's the alignment. Legs are dropping straight down beneath you. Let me hug onto that and squeeze. Move your inner thighs higher to the sky as your outer hips descend towards the mat. And it doesn't mean you turn your legs. You're not rotating them. Those are action cues. They're energetic cues where you feel your muscles engaging in new ways. They're often very small and subtle actions. Now from your pelvis to your feet, reach and press down through the tops of your feet. So each toenail, each of them clicks down. You probably got a majority of your toenails down, but like for a lot of us, it's the baby toe. And what that requires is a broadening of your foot, an expansion of your foot wider so that you can get more of those toenails to click down. So broaden your foot and breathe. All right. Bring your hands by your chest wall. Push up to all fours position. Move the pillow out. Flip over onto your back. There's a lot of time in prone. Good job tolerating prone position. It's a good place for the lungs. All the shapes we take together are really good for the area from pelvis to shoulder girdle. And in addition, they build leg strength, tremendous leg strength. Draw your right knee into your chest. Once you're on your back, stretch your left leg out long. Bring your left leg in, left foot on the ground. Return your right foot to the ground. Draw your left knee into your chest. Stretch your right leg out long and breathe. Bend your right knee, place your right foot on the floor, put your left foot on the ground. Bring your arms out to a T as you bring your legs together. Let's take both knees over to the right. And after that series of prone back bends with hip openers, sometimes a twist feels really sweet. So while your pelvis and your knees turn to the right, your work on an exhale is to let your belly sink back towards your spine, like let it go there. That's where it goes on an exhale. So let it move there. And then turn your rib cage on the right side to the left. And as you keep working that rotation of the ribs from right to left on your exhales, right? So every exhale, you go for it a little bit more. Eventually, your head will turn to look to the left. Keep reaching from your heart to your fingertips as you squeeze your legs together. Use an inhale, return to center. And now let's take both knees over to the left. Your pelvis is turning left. While your pelvis and knees are turning left, take a great exhale. And you might have to take a couple to let your belly do what it naturally does on an exhale, which is sink back towards the organs, right? In this position, it'll recede. So let it recede. It's a cinching that actually happens muscularly. And now on the right side of the ribs, turn from right to left. And that takes several exhales to get that turn. So don't rush it. You know, often we're in a hurry to take a movement, like we're just going to turn our head. Yeah. So what if it built from the base, which is the bottom of the ribs, and spiraled up into the chest, up under the collarbone, and eventually, you know, as you keep staying with it, with each breath cycle, you're like, oh yeah, now's the time to turn my head. Because often we want to take a movement and our head, you know, our brain is leading it. Couple more breaths here. Keep squeezing your legs together. Tightly squeeze your legs. And on an inhale, come back to center. Draw both knees into your chest, hug them in. As much as your knees will get to your chest, go for it. So let your pelvis tip up. Let your pelvis like arc up off the ground so that your pelvis is moving with your legs to bring them closer to your chest. You can peel your head up too. You could peel your head up and meet your knees. Keep breathing. Next exhale, rest your head down. Wait for another exhale and place your feet flat on the floor. Bring your arms down by your side as you stretch your legs out. Turn your palms open. Close your eyes. Rest.